Good afternoon. This is Keith Brown in Moultrie, Georgia, with some cash commodity commentary today. We had some fiscal cliff nervousness today as the Senate leader Harry Reid came out and just said we're probably going to go over the cliff. So that sent the stock market down about 150 or 60, and that sort of unnerved a lot of the commodity markets. Right now, about 320, which is the current time, we're down about 65 points in the stock market. So some recovery on that. But let's get right to the markets. The cotton market today down 100 points, sort of hit a banana peel, and that's understandable. We've been coming up for several weeks now, but we've been coming up in price. And so to have a little sell-off here ahead of the long weekend is certainly permissible. We do get exports tomorrow morning. I don't have a whisper number on those, but they were delayed, of course, because of the Christmas holiday. But suffice to say that we could certainly see China coming back in, buying some cotton, or maybe we've reached a little saturation point that they want to back off. It's certainly not beyond their wisdom to do that. You know, they've canceled some soybean sales, some cargoes of soybeans. They said they actually overbooked the beans, but I'm sure it's more of a ploy to get the price of beans down so they can buy them cheaper. And obviously we've fallen for that, and the beans are down today, although basis is still getting a little tight around. Now there's a big, jumping ahead of myself, there's a big there's a big grain stocks number coming out in January the 11th, and a lot of people are beginning to think that USDA will tighten up the corn and bean carry out. And so that could set us back on a path of going up. I don't see a major bull market developing off that report, but certainly we can recover some of the loss that we've experienced, and I would think farmers would want to start pricing new crop beans and corn on that rally, and we'll certainly keep you posted on that. Wheat today down again, really going to follow suit with corn and beans. And, you know, the weather's been a little more conducive, I guess, in terms of putting moisture in the wheat belt. But, you know, wheat exports have been coming up a little bit. We've been selling a little wheat. And so I can't rule out the fact that wheat may dig in here and come back some. So it's hard to separate the real from the fantasy. And by that I mean, you know, the real fundamentals of grains versus the fantasy of all this fiscal cliff and year-end liquidation and speculators getting flat in the market and all that stuff that nobody understands, including the politicians. But nonetheless, you know, they're driving the car and we're riding on the tailgate for now, and I hope they don't bump us off. But anyway, tomorrow's last day, full trading day of the year. We'll trade normal hours tomorrow. We will trade, I'm sure, Sunday night and then half a day on New Year's Eve, and then we're closed till Wednesday, I'd say around 10:30 or so for the grains in particular. And then we'll be into the new year, and so we'll see what all that brings. If you have any questions or comments, give us a call, 1-800-910-1910. Thanks for listening.